all the track up here on this upper box is not on the original drawings that call for it to go up inside the cord of the trusses. And of course we can't get it up inside the cord of the trusses. This over here is diffuser framing. It's also strengthening for a parapet. Eyebrow framing for the outside, overlooking the clerestory to the inside of the bank. And we're having to go back and redo, reframe, recut, and re-support and re-brace back to the 12-inch 12-gauge joist for these eyebrows and these diffusers. The diffusers were not on my drawings, neither were the dimensions for the eyebrows. Over here on the back wall we have plumbing that has cut and penetrated our cold roll channel, and the engineer, structural engineer on site with Clark Western Design has complained about the cold roll. We've bridged the gap with 4-inch 16-gauge strapping, but we're being held accountable and responsible for other trades cutting through our materials. Again, we didn't have the plumbing drawings, so we didn't know where the penetrations were. Structural engineer on site, Clark Western Design, is desiring X-bracing, which was in the original struct drawings that we were instructed not to do. He's wanting X-bracing with 4-inch 16-gauge strapping, with a strong anchor bolted down, multiple screws, with bridging across the top track. Again, it wasn't on the original drawings, and we were instructed not to follow the drawing of the structural engineer at that time. Now we're being told that it's our responsibility to get it in there. As you can see, it's going to be pretty extensive and expensive for us to go back and cut out all the cold roll. Plus, he's got electrical in the way, because where every down stud goes, we have to double where the X-bracing bottoms out in the bottom. And in order to do that, we got electrical boxes in our way everywhere we turn, plumbing pipes, and it's just pretty expensive and extensive work to try to do after the building's completely roughed in. Stiffen this back soffit with legs going up to the 12-inch 12-gauge joist, and also a stiffener across with 1.5 inch cold roll channel. Trying to get it to where it won't sag, and so that the diffuser framing will be complete. Over here is walls that are requiring in the back side. The back section over here, they're requesting that X-bracing be put on these walls, and you can see it is plumbing in the way, and all the cold roll has to come out. Over here on the back wall, not only will the plumbing pipes have to be cut out and moved over so we can get our double studs screwed back to back, but this wall straight directly in front of us here is supposed to be 3 5/8 16 gauge. It was changed from the original drawings. This work is extensive and expensive. You can see where the plumber's borrowed pieces of my metal to support his pipe rather than have the proper brackets and straps and supports that he's supposed to have. You can clearly see where he's used my 2x6s and also my 2x4s, 2x6s and 2x4s all the way through the building. All the way through the building. He never bought any, he stole them from me. I want to be reimbursed for this. Over here in the front, they're requesting that X-bracing go in this wall, and this wall, and this wall. The double studs in the outside wall would be difficult to support and tie off since there's a steel post at the bottom. On this side we have plumbing pipes in the way, so we wouldn't be able to run our bridges except for extremely high. On this wall here we have electrical that we would have to contend with if we go as high as they're desiring for us to go. Or we can drop it down and do bridging in between. This bracing has been cut in two. This is supporting our column and holding our soffit across. The steel guys just came out and put these triangle supports, gussets in yesterday. They cut our metal in two. The box is floating, the soffit's floating. And again, in this corner over here on the upper, our framing has been mutilated, cut in two, so the supports on the end are not proper and will have to be changed. And then the bottom track and then the top track has been added according to CWD, Clark Western Design Structural Engineers instructions. But in addition to the extra 17 places, he wants the same bridging. In some places we can do it, some places we can't. We were requested to do bridging with track with ears on it. Some places we can get it in, some places we can't. This is one of the box headers that we made for the top eyebrow section where Larry Burgess had instructed us to lower this ceiling over here in this section in the little 5 by 14.5 inch room. We did as we were instructed. Then we were told to build a soffit across it to bridge it. Then the engineer of record with design build told us that we had to take that wall all the way up, and so we lifted the joist and raised it up. On the drawings, there was only a picture of this eyebrow return right here. There was no detailed dimensions on it. We asked about it several times, and then we were yelled at and told that we needed to get that right, that it was wrong. We do not build buildings off pictures, we build them off details. The building's been very difficult. The eyebrow framing has not been exactly like it's supposed to be, but we figured out how to make our own jigs. Okay, some eyebrow framings that are changed from the original drawings that first called from to be fastened with Capcon to the back side of the, or to the front side of the brick. Now they've changed the details. I just got dimensions on these this eyebrow framing out here, so we will be adding those too. It's attached to this steel and shot in there. Shot through the steel all the way around. Where the trusses are on 4-foot centers, structural engineers requiring that I drop down and do some 2-foot framing right here. So that's what we're getting ready to do now. And the only way to attach it would be the way that we're doing it now. Right now to try to figure out how to dead end to the other one, because neither one of the drawings that we have, either from the structural engineer or from the revised ACOs that we received from Design Build Concepts, neither work. So we're having to do a field verification and field modification to make them work.
That's for the gutter check.
All these eyebrows on the outside, on the ACOs that we were sent from Design Build Concept, showed that they were Tapcon into the brick. We've had to use more material, twice as much material, and we've had to support them because what was drawn would not only would it not stay on the brick, but it wasn't strong enough to support the weight that would have been there. So we have redesigned those and made our jigs at a very costly expense. The drawings was a cutaway of the side. I was told that I had a picture on the heights page for the eyebrows, but in fact heights and dimensions from height pages don't give us the true dimensions of what we needed to have. We did finally work that out and get it in, but each eyebrow cost me about $85 more to build than what was even on the drawings, because we had to redesign them. There was a piece of steel landed for the canopy. On the drawings that they gave me, it showed a double 2x4 kind of staggering over one another. The roofer said that would not work, so we've had to accommodate the roofer and redesign it and field verify and build to design to accommodate the roofer. And as you can see, we have 4 layers of 2x6s up on top of this thing now. That'll be also a change order that needs to be addressed with Design Build Concept. We've had to remove dead wood. Electricians had to reroute pipes. We've helped him with it, and the plumber too. We've had to double studs. We've had to bridge across, and we've had to put expiration in, removing our blocking and putting it back in. On this wall, we had to take out all the studs to do it. We had to change the structural. The studs we had in there were not structural, so we had to change them to structural. We had to bridge the top and the bottom. Of course, we've got these big anchor wind braces that go in the bottom that actually drill through the concrete and bolt in, and also epoxy in. All this has been changed. This is something that we're working on so you can get a completed inspection. These are the eyebrows in here that we never had dimensions on. As you can see, somebody's already been standing on them and they're all been all out of shape and stuff. And we can't be held responsible and liable for people that are going to stand on their work and mess it up.